Hi guys, this is Keshav Pransukha and welcome to Lab 5 of Fall 2021. The purpose of this lab was to model the motion and energy changes of a bouncing ping pong ball to observe the effects of thermal energy releases during a ball's bounce. The concepts in the lab applied to almost every sport involving a small ball that bounces, including table tennis, tennis, squash, etc. The two principles used to analyze this phenomena was the momentum and energy principle. A computation model was created using iterative calculations from GrowScript's V-pattern software. In the end, it was found that the model fit the observed data quite well. The system was chosen to be the ball and the surroundings were everything else. The position data of the object's motion was extracted using tracker. The origin of the coordinate axis was placed at the starting point of the ball where it was let go. The positive x direction was set to the right and the positive y direction was set to the up. The video was calibrated by measuring the length of the row, which was 2.15 meters. The frame rate was 60 fps. The position of the ball was recorded at every frame, and from that data, the y position was time graph was created. The key concept used to analyze data is a momentum principle, which links the net interaction between a system and its surrounding and the observed motion of the system. The principle states that following velocity update formula, which can be used in the computer model to iteratively calculate the final velocity after each time step. The net force in that formula is the sum of all forces acting on the object, which in this case is the gravitational force and the drag force. This velocity shall also be used to iteratively calculate the new position after each small time step in the following position update formula. We can also look at the motion of the object in terms of energy changes. Generally, the energy principle accounts for all the energy changes occurring inside a system. It states that the changes in the total energy of the system is equal to the work done on the system by the surroundings plus any exchange of the thermal energy between the system and the surroundings. In this particular case, the total energy of the object is the sum of its kinetic energy and the gravitational potential energy. The formulae on the left hand side were used to calculate the different types of energy present in a system, where m is the mass of the object, p is its velocity, g is the gravitational constant on the earth, h is the height above ground. From this, we can also calculate the changes in each of these energy as shown in the right hand side. At the bottom, we can find the work done by the drag force on the ball by taking the scalar product of the drag force and the displacement of the ball. To calculate the drag force, the formula was used, state formula, where rho was the density of air, a was the cross-sectional area of the ball, CD was the drag coefficient, V was the velocity of the ball at that instant, and V hat was the direction of the velocity. The mass of the ping pong ball was a standard 0.0027 kg with the diameter of 0.04 meters. The initial position and the velocity of the ball was set to zero vector. The initial time was set to zero, with each time stem being 1.1 by 60 seconds. In the code, there were three while loops created for before the first bounce, before the second bounce, and before the third bounce. After each bounce, a new initial velocity was set by taking the first two position data points from the observed data and using the formula V is equals to delta over delta t. V is equal to delta S over delta t. In the code, a while loop was created to simulate the ball's motion before each bounce. In each while loop, the initial energies were redefined, the net force was recalculated, and the momentum principle was applied to predict the new motion of the ball after a time stamp. The clock was advanced, and the energies and changes in energy were calculated, and all of that plotted. The resultant model data was compared with the observed data, and the both lines uh, seemed to match relatively well before the second bounce. And the second bounce, after the second bounce, the model clearly overpredicted the velocity and kinetic energy that the ball had. This may be because the drag coefficient was too high and had not been determined experimentally. To improve this experiment, it would be better if the exact condition of the room were measured, that is, air pressure and drag coefficient. From this computational model, the changes in energy of the ball over time was also found and graphed over each time step. The blue, red, and yellow lines represent the changing kinetic, gravitational potential, and total energy of the ball, respectively. From this, we can see that the total energy doesn't really change at all between bounces, and the gravitational potential energy of the ball is being converted into kinetic energy. From this, it's clear that the work done by the drag force on the ball is practically negligible. What's interesting is the change in energy of the ball during the bounces. There's a significant drop in the total energy of the ball during each bounce. During each bounce, some of the ball's kinetic energy is converted to thermal energy and dissipated to the surroundings. This is somewhat proportional to the kinetic energy it has at the moment of the bounce. It explains why the ball lost more energy during the first bounce than it did during the second bounce. Thank you and have a great day.